Good morning, if you can hear me. Just wait for at least maybe 2, 3 minutes for others to log in. Yeah, I can see you all as you're logging in. Just giving people just few minutes for them to be able to log in. Believe we sent the link recently out in the last 15 minutes. I think it's time to start. Don't worry if I'm a bit nervous. This is my first time of doing this. Hopefully, I think we'll be able to finish in the next 45 minutes. Basically, I've been asked by some wonderful friends of mine, close friends, to just give them a brief of exactly what I do. And apart from my normal job, I actually trade on eBay. I've been trading on eBay now for about 15 years or more. But actually make it a second business sometimes about 10 years ago. That's when it became a second income for the family. And basically, how did I start? If you look around your house, you see stuff, items, basically, which we don't really need. If you look at, there's a program on BBC called Cash in the Attic. And basically, what that program is about is talking about uh, the items we have just lying around the house. Sometimes some people put them in the attic, and sometimes some people they put them in a particular store. And some of these items, they really, to somebody else, they're not worth much, but to another person, hey, they're valuable items. And then I decided, okay, I'll put them on. We've always heard of eBay. I'll just put them on eBay and see how it goes. And I was surprised that I was able to get some form of income from it. And somebody else asked a question. They said, "So how do I get started? How do I get this thing moving?" One of the biggest problems we have is motivating ourselves to start. We don't gain nothing by not starting anything. We don't gain anything by thinking about it. Most of the time we think about it, we think about it. Unfortunately, uh, I can't speak about myself without my faith. We talk about procrastination and all that, and that is one of the major reasons why a lot of people in this period where we in now are caught out. There are people actually right now thinking, "Oh, where's the next meal going to come from?" And there's some people after this whole episode is all gone. The question is, do I still have a job after now? And this has to do with maybe you've been having these big ideas in your head and you never got started. And fortunately, those that really started something long time ago, now they actually smiling because now what is gone wrong on now is that a lot of people have been pushed from the physical shop to the online shops. So if I was ready before now, then it's easy for me to just flow with it. But it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. And the question is, how do I start? Like I said, you just look around yourself. Because what it does, the day you sell the first item, you just have this boldness come on you. You just have this confidence in you that, look, if I'm able to sell one item, I can sell two items, I can sell three items. And from there, your confidence just builds. You just continue building, just continue building. And basically, what it does is that it now motivates you to now take the next step in life. And that next step could be now turning your little passion, this little thing that you do, into what they call a proper business, basically. Uh, we had we had two major crises economically in this country, and I remember the first one, when the housing crash happened, and then all these major stores like if you go on eBay, for example, you see Argos, Tesco, a lot of them now sell on eBay. And what they did was they took advantage of the market, the space that we were operating in, the goods that we used to get from them. They now stopped giving it to us. So a lot of us got discouraged, and we had to like find a way to motivate ourselves. Sometimes it took a while for us to get going, and but the thing about life is never giving up. The thing about life is when you're down and there's no way for you to no other place to go than to go up, basically. So if during this session you have any question at all, there's a chat button, and if you're struggling to log in or anything at all, you want just send me a message, or you cannot hear me or you cannot see me, just send me a message, basically. It's up. So the first thing I'm going to talk, I'm not going to tell you about how to create an eBay account. I'm just going to tell you just a brief about it, basically, because you get an eBay account, and the heading of the titles of your eBay account does really matters. Because if you Google an item, for example, if I Google, let me say, I'll just share something with you just now. If I Google, maybe, I'm going to take off my glasses because I see better without my glasses. So if I Google an item, I'll show you what I'm doing just in a second. Just 1 second. I'll share that what I'm doing with you just now. Just give me a second. I'm just going to share something with you. If, for example, I want to buy an Epson printer, now you have in front of you the Google account, basically. If I click on now, that's what there is all the information that comes out. If I click on shopping, now shopping is where you have the sellers. If you look below there, you see all the names of the shippers. Now, if you scroll down and you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. Now, if you look at these two links, look at that, eBay. Now, the question is, out of the thousands of eBay sellers, there must be lots of people selling Epson printers. So how come it's only these two that came out? And that has to do basically with their titles. In those titles, what they've done is this. I'll go away from here and come back to you now. What they've done is they've included in a title the keywords of the product they're selling, the main keywords. For example, if I'm selling an Epson printer, the model number. So I put Epson printer and I put the model number, and I put maybe it could be the size or whatever. The most important information you get, you put it in the title, then also in the description itself. So you put all those information there. So that's what makes it different whether your item actually comes out on eBay or not. So then another part I'm going to ask, like I said at the beginning, the first thing you is to get started is just to look around you. Things in the house, sometimes your old mobile phone, sometimes the kids' old gadget, just to build up your own confidence. Then now that when you are ready to really launch out, the question then is, what do I sell? At what price do I sell? There is a software which I use. That software is called Zik Analytics. I'm going to show you that software. This software is one of the best in the market. This software is called Zik Analytics. So what it does basically is this: it surveys the whole market. For example, let's search for something. Let's say this. Let's use this Epson printer as our yardstick today. So I'm going to search for something there. Just Google that, printers. Now, because if you look at towards there, you see shipping location. It says all locations. It says United States. I'm in UK, for example. So there we have all these countries there. If I keep going down, what type of listing do I want? Fixed price, or am I going to sell an auction? I'm going to talk about that briefly later. Then brand new item and all that. If I now come down to this place, it says, what date am I looking at? This is a research. It gives me a research of actually how many people are actually selling this Ipsen printer. Now, this is an item for whatever reason I'm able to get my hands on. And I'll, as we go further, you'll see how I came about that very soon. So if I do a search on this Ipsen printer, on this software, what comes up now is searching. It's a big market. Now, these are all the sellers of Ipsen printers. Look at the different prices because of the different models and all that. So look at every one of them. They keep coming out. These are different sellers on eBay, all within one software. So these are part of the things that outsiders don't see. These are type of things that people, a young buyer seller does not have access to. And if I click on this selection here, if I click on that, it's going to even give me further information about these sellers. Just watch. Zik selection there, then just watch what is going to come out. It's going to now list the who are the biggest seller of these Ipsen printers. That's what it's trying to search. It's searching the whole market now. So just bear with me for a second. It should load up very, very soon. Still loading. Here we go now. Now, if you look at that, it says sell through. Sell through is a percentage of how many sales of Ipsen printers that went through. That's sell through there. Then look at this successful listing. Out of all the listing, 35% were sold of all those printers. Now, the biggest seller is this person called MICRO1. This is the biggest seller there. He has 100 listing on his website, on his eBay account. He sold 619. His sales earning is 46,947. Now, you can save that when you're doing a research. You probably save that because you have somebody to measure your own, not your, I won't say your own success, but also somebody like somebody to look forward to. Now, the average product price is £85 of this Ipsen printer. So if you go all the way down, these are the listing this person has on each item, and look at the prices he's selling them. Now, because you want to measure yourself against the best, so you have an idea what he's selling. You have an idea the price he's selling those items. If you look at them, these are ink printer cartridges, printers. He's selling items that has to do with this particular printer model. So if now the question then now is where do I get these items from? If you look at that plus button there, if I click on that plus button, it's going to give me further information about the seller and about the source of where the items come from. It's loading at the moment. Just give me a second. It's just loading. What we're trying to just verify is actually where he could get this item from. It's just so he's searching the whole market, just searching the whole market, and the price he's getting it at. So then you're able to know the markup price. Oh, for example, that item that is selling for $29.99 or something like that. Okay, how much is he getting it for? Because then you're able to look at your cost, which we're still going to talk about also in this session. You look at your cost, then you're able to measure it against the price he's selling for. Then you have an idea how much you can sell your item from the market where you get your. It's taking a while, so probably because of our time, I'll just go back. What that does basically is that it just gives you an idea where he gets from. Now let me come back to myself. I'll go away from here. I'll just show you something. I'll go back that way. I sell on eBay, and I sell on Facebook, and I sell on some other platforms. Basically, myself, what I do is there are a lot of people that source their product internationally from AliExpress. Some people source it from Wish.com, and some people they sell it from what they call. I've forgotten the name now, but where I get my own item from is basically from, at the moment, I don't know, maybe in the future, but at the moment, where I get my items from, I'll share that with you now. Is called a hub. Is a hub of auctioneers. I used to go to auction houses and buy items from, but especially in these days now when everybody's locked down, you can't go nowhere. So all my purchases are done online from ibidder.com. This is an American company, basically. ibidder.com is the same company with Beat Spotter. So I get my items from them. Now, if you look at this, if I click on auctioneers, it tells me how many auctioneer houses are on this website alone. 109 auction houses. 109 auction houses. Just give me a second because somebody just sent me a message that they can't log in. 1 second. Just 1 second, please. If you just give me 1 second, it seems I've just been told that some people can't seem to be able to log in. So I'm going to send out another link, basically. It seems we're having just a slight problem with people logging in. I don't know whether you're able to log in now. If you just give me a second, I'll sort this out. If you can hear me properly, because I just got some message that some people can't log in. If you can actually hear me and you can see me, if you could just indicate maybe in the chat button. Okay, hi all, that's from Emmanuel. Okay, I know there are about 5 people in at the moment, but if you can hear me or see me, if you could just indicate. Sorry, this is the first time we're doing this, so there might be some slight issues with technically. People are saying they can't see. Okay, okay, okay. Now it's getting better now. Um, I don't know. I don't know whether I should start afresh or just give an overview again. I don't know where we are, but let me just run briefly through what I've been talking about. Basically, I've been talking about how to start selling items, basically, and I was on the point of where I talked about the website which I normally use, which is called Zik Analytics. I shared that website with you. I'll just run through it because of those that didn't hear me before, couldn't see me. I'll just run through that website. This is the website basically, and it's a research tool. It's called Zik Analytics. It's a research tool for all the eBay sellers. And basically, we talked about how to research a particular item. If I go back to my dashboard there, sorry, I had to run through this because I wasn't too sure how many people could actually see or hear me. If you look at that, at the top there, it says 500 best eBay items, 500 best eBay items. This gives you an idea of what the tool talks about. Then it talks about eBay. If you look down there, it says eBay weekly bestsellers. You see the items they're selling. This gives you an idea of what product is up. Then if you go, you can go into details by looking at the product research. You do a product research, you just put in, we're using Epson printer, for example. So let me use a different item. Let me use frying pan, for example. Frying pan, which we use on a daily basis. I'm based in UK, so if I click on UK there, it gives me, then I'm looking at an item that has a fixed price, then brand new. If I click on search, what it's doing now is searching how many people actually sell this item. It gives me an idea of the prices. Now, these are ideas of the prices that these people are selling this item. £24, £16. This also has to do with the type of item they're selling. So if I click on that and I click on this Zik selection, basically, Zik selection, what it does is it narrows down and tells me who are the best seller of this item. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to measure yourself against the best, basically. So somebody just sent me a message. Just give me a second where this is loading. Yeah. So now it's giving me an idea of people selling this fry pan. Now, if you look at that, the best seller of this item on eBay is a store called U Stores. Now, it has sold through 6,110%, successful listing 86%. That means out of every one item, 100 items it posts, it sells 86 of them, which is fantastic, I tell you. It has one red listing on eBay. It sold 6,310. Its sales earning is 104,370, basically. So if this was my, if you had access to this software, basically, it's 7 days free. It's 7 days free. Then after 7 days is about 20. I think the cheapest. You have the price plan is about, I think the cheapest one is about $24 or something like that. And then there are different ones which you could actually subscribe to. Now, if I go all the way down and look at this item in details, it sold 409 fry pan. This is just fry pan. A fry pan is the one our mothers use in the kitchen. And just look at how much is able to make if you multiply 16.95 by 409. If I was to go in there, if I was, because of our time, I will not click on that because it takes a while to load. If you click on this button, what it does is it searches for the source where you could actually get this item. Let me try it. Let me just try it and see what happens, basically. It's supposed to say what it does is it goes to a website like AliExpress, it goes to even eBay itself. It tells where you're able to, the person is able to get this item from. So now, this takes a long time to load. So I'm going to go from there. What I could do is I could go to AliExpress itself directly. If I go to AliExpress, some people do drop shipping on AliExpress. Now, just 1 second. We'll go from here. We'll go from here. We're gonna go to, let's go to AliExpress directly. I'm just giving you an idea where you could get that item from. This is AliExpress. So if we say there, frying pan, non-sticking, mind you, he sells that for about £24, basically, each one of those items. Now we're on AliExpress, and now look at that. Different prices from AliExpress. Look at that. Look at the prices on there. Just look at the prices on there. So this will give you an idea. Some people do drop shipping, basically. And it also has to do with the type of items he is selling. I don't buy items from AliExpress. I'll show you where I get my items from. I get my items from a website called I'll show you ibida.com. This is a hub of auctioneers. This is a hub of auctioneers. This most of these auctioneers, 99% are based in UK. And even most of the time, it's not only eBay items I buy from here. I buy items, for example, I'd rather come here and search for items I need inside the house rather than going into the store and buy something at 100%, like £100. If I'm getting an item, like, let me give an example. I'll go into my own account and I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Now, if I go into my account, this is a whole hub of auctioneers. If I go to one items there, if I go to one items now, these are the items I've sold and I've bought, except for that one which is coming in on Monday, that one there. These other items are items I've sold and bought on this website, basically. If you look at that, it tells you the number of units. It tells you how many units. There's 7, that's 13. There is 8, 5, 7. It goes on and on and on. I want to tell you, look at that. That's £8 there. That's three units. That's £3, 3 units. So 3 times 3, that's £9 I paid for that, apart from the cost. We're gonna go. I'm gonna do a series also. I'll give you a link to my YouTube channel where I'm gonna go into each one of these like Ibida, another site where we sell stuff, and also agosclearance.co.uk, which is a wholesale site that belongs to Agos. I don't know how many people know that Agos actually have a wholesale site. Then also I'm going to go into details about even the where how I'm able to ship my items. Look at that. That's £8. Now, if you go down, that is £14 each. That's 3 units. Now it keeps going down. That's £2 each. That's 49 units. Now, if you look at that, that's £1. That's how much I actually bought those items. So the other cost involved, the cost probably is about 45% of the amount you actually bid and won. There are two types of auctions on this site. There's what we call a time auction, which they set like for a week. So apart from the time auction, you now have the normal auction, which you bid. I always go for the time auctions, basically. It just once in a while I go for the normal auctions. So if you keep going down, that was £2. Most of these items are brand new completely. And recently, what I decided to do is I decided to I was lacking in motivation, sort of like, you understand, because of what was going on and all that. So I visited a wonderful sister, and I saw what she was doing. She owns a baby cut shop, this lady, and I spent the whole day there in her shop. And I was just getting myself motivated. I was looking at what she was doing. If you needed motivation, so, I think somebody once said that what you respect, you attract. But unfortunately, a lot of us don't really respect each other. A lot of us don't really respect the blessings of God on everyone's life. So recently, when I came back, I decided to buy. I saw this. If you look at this item, this is B&Q. This is B&Q. I'm going to click on it. Now, these are B&Q items. Now, these are doors, carcasses, and all that. I decided to invest in that, which was this was a pallet. Just have an idea what a pallet looks like. That's a pallet there. And I bought this item for I think 140 £40, then plus VAT and everything. I bought about 3 pallets of this, 3 pallets. And basically, I'll just show you what now happened. I was, sometimes when you talk about what to sell, some items just fall into your hands. Some items God just opened doors for those that don't really understand what I mean by that. But my faith works with my business. My faith works with my life. So sometimes I bought these 3 items. Look at that: 140, 120, and that one was £30. So if you had this all three together, this was 260 plus this £30. Now that probably goes about 310, £310. Then I paid for the shipping. The total cost came to about £500. Now I took that the proceed. I tell you, in my garage now, there are just about 3-4 of these items that are left of this item. Everything went just like that. Now the proceed from those 3 pallets. Just look at this. Just look at this. The proceed from those 3 pallets motivated me to do something which somebody will say is very risky. But this is what I did. Mind you, I didn't put an extra penny into it. I bought 26 pallets of mixed kitchen goods, all from B&Q. I don't know how many of you are aware that B&Q are closing down their kitchen hubs. This is what I bought, which will be delivered, I think, to this next week. 26 pallets of these kitchen items. 26. That's what you're saying there now. 26. I had to, in my garage, of course, won't take this. I have to go rent out a storage. 26. The proceed from, just let that sink in for a second. The proceed from 3 pallets got me 26 pallets. And how much did I buy this 26 pallets? Just watch and see. Then compare it to the 3 pallets, how much I actually paid for those 3 pallets. Just watch what's going to go. I'm going to show you now. Look at that. £750. Remember, I paid 500 and something pounds, about £560 for 3 pallets initially. Then this £26, then 26 pallets, I actually paid £750. When I added the cost to it, because you're in UK, you pay VAT. We have what they call VAT, and then you have other fees. Like I said, I'm going to go into details on this website so that you have an idea how to bid, what to look out for. I'm going to post that on my YouTube channel, which is called Sefena. I'm going to give you some literatures for you to take away with, basically. It also gives you an explanation of everything we do. So I think the total cost, the delivery for this was £560, and everything came to about £1,500. I actually paid for these 26 pallets. So now, initially I was able to sell those 500 pallets. Maybe the price was, I think, the carcass 600 units, for example, carcass of B&Q cabinet 600. Those that are used to the UK kitchen, the way it is built. I think I was selling it 19.99. I was selling it cheaper than what B&Q was actually selling it. So that's how I'm able to undermine or to sell underneath the price of who you consider a major supplier. So basically, let's go away from this point because of our time. I'm going to stop this one there, and I'm going to go to another website where I buy my items from. And okay. I was just reading some of. If you have any question at any time, please be free to post it on down. Just reading some of the questions I am looking at there. Basically, volume, please. I believe. Let me see if I have to. Just give me. I hope you can still hear me clearly now. If it's better now, Abby, if you sent me that question about volume, please. I don't know whether you can hear me better now. If you just let me know. Okay, I'm going to go to another website where I buy items from. I've told people, I don't know whether you are aware also that Argos, that Argos actually you can get items in wholesale from Argos. Okay, that's where we're going to go to now next. This is ArgosTrading.com. Now, it's not the normal clearance you see on Argos website. This website is called Argos Clearance, one word, Argos Clearance, one word, .co.uk. Argos Clearance, one word, .co.uk. This on that side which can give you motivation if you need motivation on selling. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because if you look at that, this is Argos A stock bulk items, basically. Now, it says there, 14 pallets, lose Argos clearance. Before you can sell stuff like that, there are 2 bids at the moment. That's the price. That is 14 pallets. This is another pallet now, palletized them and lose Argos bedroom, lounge, and dining furnitures and all that too is at the moment. Now, if you look below that price of 1,100, you see another price there, which is 12,697. That's the retail price of those items if you were to sell them 100% at Argos prices. Now, if you look at this one that says 2180, if you look below it, you say 24,584.89. That's the sales price of that. That's the retail price of that item. But the amount you pay for it, if you want to earn now, the person that wins this bid, this is bidding basically, will be good. I bought this item for £2,180. Now, when I say motivation, these are small boxes delivery. If you go there, these are small boxes. These are in smaller size. You want to motivate yourself. You want to find a way to sell. You don't have anything in the house that you don't need no more. These are smaller boxes. Bush mobile phone in car charger, and they're all completely brand new. This side, all this one. The other ones you need to be careful. Make sure you look at A. When it says A category, those are brand new. When it says B category, those are brand new, but maybe the box is open, or maybe the box is torn, or maybe their items that were returned back to store, they couldn't deliver, or maybe the customer, Argos has started this money back guarantee. A lot of times people return the item back to Argos, not because they faulty, they want the money back. So Argos, what they do is that they categorize them. There's category A, which is brand new, completely sealed. There's category B, which is brand new, but the box might be open, or the box might be torn. There might be slight damage with the box, but the item in it is completely brand new. Then you have category C. Category C, the items might be new itself, but they might have scratches on them or something like that on the item, but they are still sellable. On eBay, you see people tell you about this item is boxed open. They don't want to tell you the direct category, so they just tell you it's boxed open, or they tell you, it's X stock. X stock, basically what he's talking about is that if you go into Argos, for example, you see some item on display. Those items that are on display, so later on in the year, towards the end of the year, what Argos does is it takes those items out and try to sell them, basically. So then you have Argos returns. Those ones, Argos has not checked them at all. So what you find out is, for example, there was a time I was buying printers from this site, and I bought, I think, about a pallet of printers. There were about 50 pallets there. And luckily for me, those printers were all the same category. So what I discovered was that some of them had ink cartridge problems, and some of them had just normal problems. So those ones that had ink cartridge problem, I look at the one that has that is good, but the ink cartridge is good. So I used to, because everything these days is like plug and play. So I'll take the ink cartridge from one item, and I'll put it on I'll change the cartridge from one and put the good cartridge and put it in there. That's one problem sorted. So at the end of the day, I was able to get maybe about out of that 70, or I can't remember how many I bought them. And let me just use the figure, 70, let me say 70 printers. I was able to get 35. They were fully functioning. I'm not a technician, but I was able to do that with just thinking about it. Then you have the bulk Argos return. If you look at that, bulk Argos return, this is this one, for example. It tells you this ends in 49 days. It tells you the price there. This is probably about, if I click on that, that's probably about 15 pallet or something like that. This is, now if I click on that, it gives me all the price, all the items basically. That's the manifest. It gives me an idea of all the prices. That's taking a while to load. I don't want to. Okay, it's loading now. It's loading. Every of this item on agosclearance.co.uk has a manifest attached to it. So if you open the manifest, it's opening up now. This is the manifest. It's opening up now. So you see all the items. You see the retail prices that normally they sell for. It tells you the different items. It tells you the unit, and sometimes also it tells you about the whether it is brand new or not. It tells you, it gives you an idea of something like that. So basically, that's it about agosclearance.co.uk. Like I said, I'm going to go into more details because there's also some more information which you need to know about all these auction site. Then another site, like I said, which you could buy things from. I don't buy from. People talk about AliExpress. People talk about wish.co.uk and all that stuff. So basically, that's it about what I do, how I get my items, where I get my items from. So if you at any time, please, like I said, you can ask me any question. I'm free. Somebody is a season of giving. So I have nothing to hold back. If there's anything difficulty you've ever faced in the process of you selling, or maybe you trying to venture out, it's not only on eBay you can sell items. People build websites and sell items on it. And people, they do what they call drop shipping. They don't have control. The problem with that is this: I don't do drop shipping. The drop shipping basically is that they buying from somewhere. They don't have access to the goods. So when you see an item, they tell you it's going to be delivered in 20 days. That means that there's something more to it. It's more or less like a drop shipping item, because what they do is that they buy it from AliExpress. AliExpress sends it to you. You don't know that the item is actually coming from AliExpress. You're thinking it's coming from that seller. For example, recently I decided to buy a cable. I'll tell you one of the problems with drop shipping. I decided to buy a cable, and because of the situation, most of these items actually come from China. And because of the situation we're now in and the process of delivery and all that, the buyer he couldn't give me an exact time when this item is going to arrive. The date he put on eBay went by and he still had not delivered. And I noticed the tracking number he put. That's another thing you need to check out for anytime you're buying anything on eBay. Look at the tracking number and check that it's correct. So I knew that it wasn't eBay Royal Mail tracking number. So I told him straight away. I said, look, that first of all, your tracking number is not correct. And second of all, you don't have access to the item. That's why you have no control. Because one thing that has happened, even during this COVID-19, is that items are still being delivered at the normal time. I still deliver items within 3 to 5 working days, basically. So that's it about that overview. What else now? Like I said, when you're building your eBay account, you just have to be as honest as possible. I'll give you another experience I had recently. Somebody bought a laptop for myself, and unfortunately, maybe when he was registering that account, he put in the wrong information. Maybe he thought he was joking or something like that. I don't know. So when he was buying the laptop, he didn't really pay attention to the details he's actually put there. So what we do is that we use the PayPal what they call it, the PayPal account, the address on the PayPal, because that's is secure. Then you're able to, if you put that address, that must be his address because he paid for it. He actually paid for it. So we use that address. The person was based in Spain. So we send the items out, and about for 2-3 weeks, I noticed the item was having problems. They were having problems delivering it. So what I decided to do is I decided to send him a message. I said, what seems to be the problem? You seem they're having problem delivering your item. And I now spoke to the courier company, and the courier company said, unfortunately, the address it has on that we use for his delivery was actually wrong. So I had to go check my site to make sure everything is okay. And then I sent him a message, and I said to him, look, your address is wrong. They're unfortunately going to return this item to me. When they return the item to me, I'm going to refund you your money. Or I won't do that until they refund the money to you. So what we're going to do now, briefly, we're just going to look at eBay. So because there's some cost also. When we talked about where to get your items from, we talked about you buying, you looking at around you the items you have in your house. that you could actually sell. We talked about different sites where you could actually buy items from at very, very cheap price. Like I said, I'm going to go into more details about. I'm going to go more in details into all those sites I've mentioned on. If you go on my YouTube page, it's called Sefna. Sefna is SEFNAH. F, that's S for sugar, Echo, Freddy, November, Alpha, Hotel. That name, Sefna, actually has to do with my kids. If you can figure out what that name actually means, then maybe I'll give you a prize, basically. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into eBay itself. I'm going to just show you some few things you need to take note of when you're on eBay, how to list your item, what to look out for. Now, this is eBay. Now, let's say, for example, I want to sell an item. I want to sell, it could be anything at all. I already have an idea of what I want to sell based on the competitive price I'm able to get from that seller, from the research I did in Zik Analytics. That software is fantastic, I tell you. I'm able to look at all the competitors' prices. I'm able to, and already have an idea what I'm going to sell. So I come here and I say, okay, let me say I want to sell for example, a laptop. And it comes up with, if I say an Acer Chrome 6720. Now, that is the model number. Now, eBay has what they call a directory. It got a directory like, let me not use that. Let me go back. I want to show you what the directory looks like. Six, 720. Just want to show you what the directory looks like, what it does, basically. You see that? So it has a catalog. I'll use the word catalog, basically. So it tells me the different types of Acer Chromebook 6720 that are available. This is where you need to be very careful, because you don't want to sell an item, then later on the person say, oh, you sold me the wrong item, and it's being returned. So if you look behind your laptop, you have all the model numbers, you have the size of the gig, the speed, and all that. Then it tells you about the laptop sizes. You want to make sure that that number there, that number is exactly the one behind your laptop, because then you're able to get the right item. So if you look at the different types, so if I pick on any one of these now, if I pick on, let's say I pick on that, it comes up with the catalog. Look, it's already set up for me. I don't have to start inputting all this information. I don't have to. So it's asking me there, do I want to use this product? I say, okay, yeah, I want to use this product. Then it takes me to the next stage itself. And that next stage has to do with my title. Now, look at that. It's put my title in there, notebook, laptop, Chromebooks. It's put there the size of the laptop itself. It's put the memory, the storage sizes. It's told me this and all that. It's all the specifics. It's added everything. Look at how easy it is to list an item. It's so very, very easy. Now, if you come down this end now, you see what they call subtitle there, £2. Normally, I don't use it. I don't use it because it adds to your cost. Now, that three main parts to that cost on eBay. For example, you have subtitles, those type of costs which you can add yourself. But there's also some costs which are actually fixed. Now, if you list an item on eBay, you pay what they call an insertion fee. Insertion fee, you pay whether you sell that item or not. You pay whether you sell an item or not. At the end of this, or after I've gone through the whole process, you're going to see what the insertion fee actually looks like. And then you can, so it tells me, so that I don't normally use it. Some people put other titles so that you can, why they do that is that so that you can find this item quicker. So they'll tell you it's Acer Chrome 6723. They had some other items there. So I don't use that. I don't use the subtitle because it adds to my cost. And because I have an eBay shop called Sefna Kitchens, there I was one that had this category myself. But because I don't sell a laptop at the moment, I don't have that laptop there. So if this was a kitchen, I'll put the kitchen there and all that. Then it asks me different variation. Like when you saw when I was taking from the catalog, it was showing me the different types of this laptop basically. So if there's any variation you put there, then if this item is brand new, look at what I was talking to you about earlier when I was talking about the different categories of items where to buy from. There's those that are called brand new, they're completely brand new, they're sealed, they're not open at all. Now there are those that are opened but never used. Then you have what they call manufacturers refurbished. These are all the seller's secret. Manufacturers refurbished, basically. How does the seller know that it's actually manufacturers refurbished? Because actually he's never been to the store. He's never been to the company where they manufacture this item. So what he does is just uses his head and his intuition. That's the what I call he's been thinking about, he's been doing it for a consistent period, so you can actually tell and say, oh, this looks new, it's not brand new. So I'll just say manufacturers refurbished. Some of them are just made of information. Now you have what they call sellers information, refurbished. Sellers information, basically, what he's saying is that I refurbish it. You know, I was talking about printers earlier. When I was selling those printers, I'll say it is sellers refurbished or is used. Or if it is part, for example, the other part of the printers I couldn't sell, not that I couldn't sell them, I list them under part and not working. Even though I've played around with the part already, so whoever is buying does not know I've played around with the part. So he's still thinking now he's going to do what I've already done. But he doesn't realize I've already done what I was already thinking ahead of him. So now it comes to your photo. Please, it's very, very important. eBay allows 12 pictures on any listing basically. And this, for example, is the catalog picture. I normally leave this behind. But what I do is that if I had other pictures to leave, I will take these and put the load there. I always put it at the very end. So it's very, very important. The picture, if it's a laptop, put the laptop on. Let people see that it's fully working. There's no screen scratch. There's no problem with it. You put it, if it comes in a box, you put the item on the box. Put the item on the box. Let people see the item on the box. Let people see the packaging of your item, because these are what motivates buyers. Basically, you think they don't look at it, but they actually don't look at it. And some of you also, you buy items on eBay and you already know what you look at for. So those are the type of pictures I'm going to take and put there. And when you're taking pictures, make sure it's on a white, maybe on a white background. Some people use their rug in their house. You don't have to go buy some expensive camera. Your phone will just do perfectly. Some of our phones are fantastic. So then you have, you could actually use like a even piece of paper, white printing paper, put them, lay them flat, and you just put the item on it. So that because it shows the item in its glory, basically. Now, because I was using the eBay catalog, it's already inputted all those information I needed, 2 gigabytes. These are very, very important information, so that you don't sell an item and somebody tells you, oh no, you sold me the wrong item. These are specifics about the item, the color of the item and all that. Then you have what they call like the item description. I normally put the title the way it is. I just copy and put it in there, and then I'll say in my description that it's brand new. If there's any defect at all, any small scratch, I will indicate there. There's a small scratch, there's an edge on the edge or whatever. This is being very, very truthful, because trust, when it comes to eBay deals with trust. And when one or two, the problem is that when 1 or 2 people start returning your items, eBay will, PayPal will start withholding your funds, because sometimes you find out that PayPal withholds funds, basically. And one of the reasons for that is because number of items they return in. So eBay, PayPal is already having that trust issues with you. eBay is also having trust issues. Sometimes it's eBay that communicates with PayPal to hold their funds. They hold your funds for maybe even 30 days or 7 days every time you make a sale. And these are the reason why you are already a seller, you're wondering, why is eBay holding my fund when I'm already a seller? I've already met the requirement, basically. So why is eBay holding my funds? So those are the reasons why they will hold your funds. And also, when you start initially, PayPal will start holding your phone until you have the tracking number. You make sure you have the tracking number when you post your item, basically. So now this is the format. Am I going to sell as fixed good or auction? It depends on the item you're selling. If I'm selling an item with more, maybe an item I have about 10 of it, I'm going to list normally at fixed price. Some people, they just list another item as for auction, because we look at that, it gives you whether it's auction style or fixed price. The fixed price is what we call buy it now. Then I'm going to list the duration. and I'm going to put the price. I've already established the price from my research in Zik Analytics. So I've established the price there. Then do I want people to make me an offer? For example, it's very good when people make you an offer, because what it does, and also what the good thing about also using an auction, when you're using an auction for, if you have more than 3-4 items and you're using auction style as well, is when the bidding ends, and maybe the price of the auction is maybe you want somebody to won at £10, for example, and there were people that bidded £9 or £8. So what I normally do is that after the first person bought the item, you make an offer to the other two that bidded £9 and £8. If it's within your limit to do that, based on your cost price and how much you're selling for, you make them another 2 offers, saying, oh, you that won £8, you that won £9, you can buy it. So you send them the offer. There's an eBay at the end of the whole auction site. eBay, you're able to do that. It's all like in a template, basically. You're able to offer them and say, oh, this is £8 and that is £9. So you can have it. So that person now has 24 hours to accept or not. So what is happening is that within just one sale, you've made 3 sales, or even 4 sales, or even 5 sales. You're able to get rid of the item as quickly as possible. Goods, normally I put goods to cancelled until the goods are cancelled, basically. And there you make an offer. And that sound you just hear is my eBay sound, by the way. Somebody maybe send me a message, or it's still going through or something. You have this sound that comes in there. And this is the quantity. This is the quantity of items I'm selling, basically. There, this offer, you could be, if your item is going to, like this laptop, maybe I want to sell it for £300. I put there, automatically accept offers of over 280. So it may somebody bid 280 or 285, it sells. The item sells. But if it bids below a certain price, then the item goes up. Then you have your PayPal there, which is very important. I'm going to talk about. Then look at that. If you look at this now, it says if you look at that, it says require immediate payment when buyer buy. This is very important, please. This is very important. You tick this box. And I will tell you a reason why. We have a lot of, in as much as we have a lot of good buyers, we also have those fraudulent ones that are trying to defraud you of your money. Now, what happens is this. If you don't tick this box, this person clicks on buying this item. It doesn't give him it doesn't tell him to pay now. You understand? So the person can buy the items. So the whole sale is gone through. You get an email, this item has been sold. Then it tells you the person has not paid. That's what happens if you don't tick this box. But immediately you tick this box and the person buys the item, it asks him before you can conclude, it needs to pay now. It needs to pay now. So this is very, very important that you click on that. And then basically, so what else there? Okay, let's keep going on. We'll go on. Let's go on. Okay. Then the question is, do I want to sell internationally? If I'm selling an item of this nature, I'll sell internationally, because one of the reasons for that is because of the exchange rate. The pound is very strong. So because of the strength of the pound, basically, because of the currency exchange, you actually make some money because of the currency exchange. But what I normally will do is this. This is domestic price. And I'll come to the domestic. How do I gauge how much the cost of delivery is? Now, I'll go away from here for a second, and I'll show you the site I use for my delivery. I'll just show you. Everything about eBay is automated. Everything is automated. You can be sleeping and things are going on. Like you just hear that sound, like I said, somebody send me a message or somebody making an inquiry or something. And I'm here talking to you and something is going on there. So that's why some people in this period of where we're in now, they're actually making a killing. I tell you, they're actually making a killing. Now, this is my parcel company I use. They're called interparcel.com. Interparcel.com. This is an hub of courier companies. It's an hub. If you look at that, that's the total parcels I've sent in the last I think this is the last 2-3 weeks. This is February. This is March, 42 in March, and this is April 25. So this total cost I've paid for those items in terms of the cost. This is the number. It tells me how many is delivered. It tells me how many are out for delivery. It tells me how many are in transit at the moment, basically. So now, why I brought you here is to show you where to get the cost of the item from. Now, Yeah, I clicked on that my code there. This is my address there. So if I want to post to somewhere, I'll put the person that is buying. I'll just put UK, a UK postcode, because most of the most of the deliveries for UK are around basically the same price. But when it comes to, I think, Ireland or start going to Europe, they're different prices. So I just pick like a random this, and I put that there. If the weight of my item I'm selling is 5 kilo, I put 5 kilo there. If the length is 55, I put 55 there. If this is 30, I put 30 there. If this is 5, I put 5 there. And if I click on quote now, this is now I'm still listing, mind you. I've not sold yet. I'm still listing. So I'm trying to get an idea of the price. The more you sell, the more you look at an item and you know the size, the weight. Sometimes I just lift an item up and it tells me the weight of the item. Now you see all the information loading up. You see all the information loading up. In post, these are different courier companies. They sent me different quotes. I normally use Amen for an item that weighs less than 15 kilo. When it comes to an item that weighs 20 kilo, there's another site that belongs to Parcel Force. They call it Send It Now. I'll show you just briefly what that does. Now, if you look at that, that's Parcel Force 48 there. It tells me the delivery date. So I'm able to tell the item, put in my listing how long it's going to get. This item is going to be delivered. That's why I told you, even though we have COVID-19 already been going on for days now, before months now, if you still see the delivery are still within the time frame. So when somebody lies to you, you're a buyer, you bought an item, the person is telling you it's because of COVID-19. That's not actually true. Look at that. The delivery date, this is Wednesday, next week. This is Thursday. The delivery service is still been going on. I just saw a neighbor this morning had his parcel delivered, basically. So now I'll not pick a service. I said 529. 529. I booked this now. If I say, okay, I'm going to use Amens and I book, because one of the reasons I use Amens is very close to me. You have all the depot where you can actually deliver. Some of the petrol stations, some of them are just these normal shops where you could actually, which is convenient for you. So I pick that price now, and I pick the address. Let me say I pick the address. I put all the person's name in there. I put the time, the date, and all that, and I put the description of the parcel in there. And I say, oh, that, then it comes there. If the item is a high value item, it's asking me the value of the item there. I put an insurance on it. So that is £4 extra there. It goes on. Then I want a delivery signature. That's why sometimes when they deliver an item to you, they ask you to sign for it. Sometimes they don't ask you to sign for it. It depends on the seller. So if it's a high value item, I want a delivery signature, then that shows me the proof. So now if I go on and click, okay, it's asking me for more information. Let's see, something we've not done. Okay, it's asking me that 074-112-892-876. That's the person details, the person that I'm posting this item for. And another thing, I'll show another thing that Interparcel does. I'll show you something. If I click on that, you must read, okay, agree. I've not clicked the agree button. Okay, that one. Okay, so that should be okay now. We're just doing a test run basically. So I was inputting all this information. Let me just box. Let's see what item is indicating. That one is done. That one is done. I just want to give you an idea of the price. Oh, Sonny, first name is asking me for second name as well. Okay, because then you have an idea how much you're going to charge for this particular item. Look at that. It comes up with including insurance and everything, £12.06. Then mind you, insertion fee on eBay includes the cost you indicate there for postage. So the insertion fee on eBay is 10%. 10% or not insertion fee, sorry. The final, there's something we call final sales value goods. That is the amount that your item sells for. eBay charge you 10% of it as part of their fee, but they also charge you 10% of that. So this is £12.06 there. So if I now have 10% of that to that would be for about £13 let me say about 13 pounds 6 pence or something like that. So about 13 pounds. So when I'm going to go back, I will now go back and now go to my eBay account and add, oh, the cost of the postage will be 13 pounds. So you have an idea how much you're going to ship your items for. Sometimes what people do is that they add this cost directly to the sales, the amount you want to sell your goods. So they make the shipping free. So sometimes when you see an item being sold and the shipping is free, it's not really free. What they've done is they've added the cost of the shipping to the item itself. On that too, that this website does for me, I'll show you something that it does for me. It's integrated with my eBay account. That's why I told you everything is integrated into each other. Now, if I come in there, you say there's no shipment for me to take care of. So, but if I want to go to eBay and make sure there is no shipment, if I click on that eBay, now, if you see that's what I click there, it still tells me there's no shipment. That means there's nothing for me to take care of today. But when there's a shipment that comes in, if you click on that, it will bring all the shipment and all the information from eBay. You bring it on there. So all I need to do is straightforward. So I don't have to start putting the person's name and all that stuff that goes on. So it is automated. So let's go back into the room. That's the thing about the shipping. Then we'll go back to our eBay. We'll go back to eBay there. Let me see. I hope I'm not boring you out. I talk too fast at times. So if I go back there, I'm still going back to my eBay now. So I come back here and I indicate the cost of my shipping is 13 pounds. Or I had this 13 pounds to the sales price of my goods and I click that as free post. And so that's that for that. So now, if I want to ship an item like this, I'll ship international. And I've told you the reason why. Also on that website, we went to interparcel.com. I can get the cost of shipping to Spain, to anywhere in the world. So what I normally do then, I will indicate the certain countries I want to ship to. There will be some countries, automatically, if I indicate on that, and I click on that and that, because of trust issues, you understand? Not because you don't like a particular country or something. So I click on all those countries there, which I believe I probably percentage-wise in terms of the number of trust, about 99% of those ones. So that gives me an idea. Then if you notice I didn't click on America or United States, the reason is because the cost of postage to Europe is different from the cost of postage to United States of America. So what I do is basically I will now offer another service. So this one I had maybe 24 pounds 99. Then I'll now click on United States or Canada or Australia or something like that. So then if I keep going down, it says create an exclusion. That is more or less what it's saying is that exclude certain countries. Exclude. The first country, which I'm an African, but unfortunately we have a few bad eggs that's sort of like killed and gives everybody a bad name. So I will say I'm excluding that. I will normally exclude Asia, that even the Central American, even the South American, and I will leave Europe, Oceania, maybe not. I'm not too used to it. So normally what I do is I exclude that. Even North America, I will exclude that. So what it's saying is that nobody from any one of these countries can bid on my item or can buy my item. So if I click on save and close, so it's excluded all those countries. These are very, very important because then you don't have people wasting your time. You try to sell an item and the person is not paying, and you start all this process. Then it takes a while for you to get your money, to get the item listed back, because you're not sure. The uncertainty, is it going to pay? Is it not going to pay? Is it going to pay? Then eBay will tell you have to wait for 47 days or something like that, or for before you can open unpaid item dispute. So all that stuff comes in. Then for you to sell on that promotion that eBay offers, basically, I use sometimes, not all the time, depends on what item I'm selling. It's what it does is this: it gives you more visibility. It gives your item more visibility. This actually works. I've tried it once. I put 2 items and I listed them, and I was able to see the number of people that actually saw this item and the number that saw the one that I didn't take this item on. And basically, then I maybe put. Sometimes you can adjust this percentage, because this is percentage on my final sales value. Then if I'm selling more than one item, I come here. If I'm selling one item, I want to give a discount. It depends on the value of the item. And please always be careful with your cost and the actual amount you're going to sell your goods for. So in this item, I'll say, oh, maybe 2% there. I'll say, okay, I'm off. If he buys 3 of my item, I'll find 3%. If he's buying 4 of my item, I'll say, oh, 5%. So then he's encouraging people. They already have a discount. He's going to buy 5. He already has a discount on that. Now, if you come all the way down here, normally there'll be a fee there that shows that is what they call your insertion fee. At this moment now, because there's a deal, eBay offers sellers deals on sometimes the insertion fee, it gives you free of charge for maybe a week. So at the moment, there's no insertion fee showing on there. And the reason because of the discount that eBay is offering me. So if this was a real listing, if I click on preview, it come up. But because it's not a real listing and I've not done some inputted some information like in the description box and all, nothing comes up. So that's that about eBay. And remember, you have your PayPal. Your PayPal must always be included in your eBay. So I'll go from here and come back to the chat room. Like I said, if you have any question at all, please just input there. Maybe based on you've tried to sell before and it didn't really go well, or you had a problem and you feel that something went wrong or somewhere it didn't sell. You just send me a question. I'm gonna send you just if a file more or less which you can also look at in your own spare time on eBay. I'm gonna send it to you now. They can download this information. It's not about all you need to know about eBay itself. And like I said, I'm going to go into more details when during the week on each of those platforms I've talked about. So if this slide, I'm sending you this slide now, which you can download for your own at your own time, which you can use as a reference guide. Maybe there's something that messed up, and if at any time at all you feel you need to have a question, please, I'll probably put my phone number there or my email address. Then just feel free to contact me at any time, and I will, as much as possible. This is the season of giving, basically. That's the file there. What it does, it talks about eBay trading, basically. So it tells you about everything about eBay. It tells you what I've tried to do is to be as brief as possible, just not to wear you out, basically. So I've been talking for a while. It seems there's no question there now. I hope you can all still hear me. So, so if you just go through that itself, I'm going to post that there for you to look at. I hope you can see that. So if I go to the beginning, it's just a preview of what we've been talking about. It's just a preview, but this is something for you to have and to take along with you at the end of the program, basically. We're going to also look at YouTube now. We're going to look at YouTube and we're going to talk about YouTube briefly because at the moment, like I said, a lot of people, I have a manager at work. She's a Nigerian, and she travels a lot. And about last year, I said to her, you know, you can actually make money by vlogging about your trips. Even companies can actually pay you for your travels. You don't have to spend your money. And she said, oh, no, I don't seem to be interested. I just like my traveling, basically. And can you all still hear me, please? Can you all still hear me loud and clear? Because somebody just indicated the video, you can't see the video. Can you all still hear me? If you can hear me or still, this is, like I said, this is my first time of using Webinar. This is a software called Webinar Jam. Webinar Jam. If you Google it, it's called Webinar Jam, basically. So if you can still hear me and everything is okay, If not, please, if you can't, the signal seemed to drop off. I can see the signal there. It dropped off. It should be back on now. So if you can still hear me, or you can't, if you just indicate basically, I'll send a message out there. Okay. So I have no. So I'll just continue and I'll just go briefly. I'll go to YouTube now. Okay. Yeah. Somebody just basically just told you what you need to do basically from your hand. If you cannot hear me or see me, if you just click on the reconnect button, it seems to drop off. Depends on the signal, your Wi-Fi, what you're using basically. So if you just click on the reconnect button, it takes you back into the room. It's up. So if you can hear me, let me just see whether there's any message on my phone. Sometimes some people have been sending messages there. Say, oh, uh, just 1 second. Yeah, sorry. So we're gonna go from here now. We're gonna go briefly into YouTube. We're gonna look at YouTube now. I'll just stop this now. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to stop the slide, but you can always download that slide at your own time, basically. So we're back into the room, and so basically, I said to her, I said, look, I said, you there was a lady, for example. I give an example of a lady which I also gave to her. I said this lady, she's on a YouTuber, and she said on YouTube, she said, oh, that she didn't know how to tie the Nigerian, Nigerian ladies, they are gele, especially the Yoruba one. And she said she didn't know how to tie it. If you go on YouTube, if you Google tying Yoruba gele and all that, you see it comes up. And she couldn't tie it. So she went to learn from a friend how to tie it. Then she knew that a lot of our friends couldn't tie it. So one day she did a video about it. She had 1.5 million views. 1.5 million views on YouTube. Now the question then is, how much does it? If I was to ask people how much do they think she gets paid for that 1.5 million views? If that was in UK, for example, she probably gets tons of money, loads of money, basically. If she was in UK or if she was in US, basically. So how do I get started on YouTube? Two main criteria for you to open a channel. Like I said, the first thing about you starting anything, just do something. Just go on there. It takes you 5 minutes or 2 minutes. You can open a YouTube channel. Now, when you've had 1,000 subscribers, and 4,000 hours of viewing, 4,000 hours of viewing. Just put a video there. It could be a video of you preparing African dishes. I know I'm talking to a lot of African attendees, and you make an African dish and you put it on there, and you just a video, anything at all. You traveled, even it could be a video you've done in the past of a trip, maybe to Nigeria. A lot of us in diaspora, we always like to watch videos about Nigerians that videos of Nigerians that actually move back home. We want to see how they do it. And also, if you talk about people that talk about real estate, also deal with real estate as well. And a lot of people that go back home, they do a lot of real estate about even people from back home, they do a lot of real estate. There was a lady, I saw a video on YouTube. It was on Sunday. You won't believe it. I spent 2 hours just watching all the video presentation of this lady, because she was very professional, because that's very, very important. And the video was original. She was adding all sorts of humor to her video, basically. And because that's another thing about making a video, make sure your video is original. It doesn't include any form of copyright in any format, or it doesn't include any copyright. Everything is original. You're eating your amala. People make videos about stuff like that. And you that is being original. You prepare your wonderful African dishes. That is being original. You helping people to dress up and to do all those things. Those start being original. But when you start adding video, music from those are content that belong to order. Most of these musicians are on YouTube. Those are content that belong to somebody else. So virtually, if it gets flagged up by YouTube, then you don't actually make money on it. So you start making money. Like I said, the two main criteria: when you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours on YouTube, you start making money on YouTube. Because the way it works is that's when you are able to monetize your YouTube video. You understand? So they're different. It is a big topic. YouTube is a big topic. There are different ways of you first you could tell your family members, oh, make sure you subscribe to this. Make sure you click on this link. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. That's where to start from. And before you know it, those ones they also tell their friends. Those ones they also tell your friends. Before you know it, you have 1,000 views. People have viewed your video about 1,000 times. So the question then is now comes to how much do I get paid when after you've hit those requirements, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours. So how much do I get paid? This now has to do with type of video you're making. If you for example, you're making videos about people make videos about comedy and all that. People, when you make videos about comedy, you make just give me a second. I'll just have in manual is something here which I go through. It talks about comedy and pranks, for example. The people that make videos, they actually don't make a lot of money. They make maybe between $2 to $3 per hour. Everything is in dollars basically because America. That's what YouTube is an American company basically. They talk about vlog, travel vlog, and all that stuff. You actually make just between $3 to $5 per thousand, mind you, per thousand. They call it PCM or something like that. They call it PCM, exactly. So you make per hour. Then you talk about tech video. Tech videos is, for example, a customer of mine returned a laptop about 2 weeks ago and said, oh, he didn't understand why. The screen just went off. So I was into show. So when he returned the laptop to me, what I did is I just went on YouTube and I just typed the items in there, and I discovered that what is happening is that either the sun is dropped the laptop, so the screen is actually now disconnected from the main computer itself, because this is the screen and this is the computer itself. So it's disconnected, and all I needed to do was you see this screen that goes around there. It's more or less like plug and play. I could actually remove this. I could actually remove the screen that surrounds my laptop. So, and it was so easy. Within 1 minute, the laptop came in at 10 o'clock in the morning, and at 8:30, I sent him a picture. I said, that's your I think within 15 minutes, he said, oh, what did you do? And I said, look, I said, oh, I think it got dropped and your laptop. So when when people they take something like that, you take it to a technician and he charges you £700 or £300. Just imagine how much you've actually wasted. So that is the type of information you can actually get on YouTube. So when tech video, people that make those videos and put it on there about what could be wrong with your laptop, basically they make between $5 to $10 per thousand views. Then you talk about people in the financial business sector. Maybe you're in UK and you want to make money on you're a mortgage advisor, you are a business, because now there's a lady, she's in I tell you, our ladies are doing wonderful things. I tell you, the men, yeah, there are some guys that are really top of YouTubers, but the main ones also, the one that are a lot of them, our mothers and our ladies. Actually, you could actually make some a video and they're making a lot of money basically by just even a lot of them it became their second income. There was a lady, she makes videos about financial, I can't remember her name now. She's made $1.5 million. $1.5 million. She used to work in the financial sector. Then it got to a point that she had to retire, because not retire, she had to just leave the job, because then she was making serious money on YouTube basically. So then you have financial and business videos. Those ones make between $15 to $30 per thousand, mind you. That is after you've first made the two requirements I talked about before. You've had 1,000 viewing and you've had 4,000 viewing hours. That means people have watched your video for about 4,000 hours. you could divide that into a number of hours basically. So then the question then now is what determines whether somebody actually makes money. Like I said, the lady that made the gele, she made about, I think she said something about $3,000 from 1 million, I think 1 million or 1.5 million views. 1.5 million views. One, she's in Nigeria. Now, the CPM that YouTube pays it pays for different companies. CPM, that is cost per minute that actually people watch your video for. So the CPM it pays for different companies really differ. And the reason for that is this. Now, if you watch, because one of the main reasons why people actually, you can have a video, if there's no advert in it, if there's no advert in your video, people will just be watching for free. It's just free. People are just watching for free. And you have a lot of this. So when your video is ready to be monetized, and you'll see a symbol there of the dollar pounds. You understand? I just started my YouTube video, so what I'm giving you basically are just what I've learned. So if not, I will be able to show you some of these things. You'll see a dollar sign. That means that you're ready to monetize your video, basically. And I've done a literature which I will also post to you, basically. And this money sign shows that you're ready to monetize your video. So then when you go on YouTube Studio, there's a YouTube Studio. If you look at your YouTube channel, you'll see a YouTube Studio. If you go on there and you do edit, if your video, because YouTube recommend that your video, let it be at least 10 minutes long, 10 minutes. If it's less than that, it doesn't get the recognition you want. Make sure it's at least 10 minutes long, and make sure that it's not too long as well, because then it wears people out. People get tired of watching it. So when you go on, there's a slide. If you click on edit in YouTube Studio, there's a slide that comes up. So that slide shows you the different minutes of your video. So you could put a video, you go on there, you want a video after 1 minute, 50 seconds. If you watch some video, when you're watching YouTube, you see some advert comes up within the first 1 minute. So because then they know they can capture you. So if you indicate there, oh, I want my video at 1 minute, I want another one at 4 minutes, and I want another one at 8 minutes. So then you have 3 adverts. So when you have indicated on that slide, basically what it does is this, and you click on save, you've edited it. I have all this in literature, so I'm going to send to you basically, so you have an idea what I'm talking about. So you click save. Automatically, YouTube had those adverts to it. It had those adverts to your YouTube channel automatically. It gets added automatically. So then there's nothing else for you to do. All you need to do is now start directing traffic to that. So then it also has to do with why I'm talking about what I'm talking about now is why people make money and why some people don't make money. Now it also has to do with the number of minutes people actually spend watching those adverts. For example, if you look at your YouTube video, right at this end there, you see people, there's a skip button. So each time you see people, they skip that button, they don't want to watch the video, they're watching the African movie, they don't want to watch that advert, so they skip the button. Each time they skip, you lose money. So then also, because there's some advert, there are different type of adverts. They're the sponsored, you have the sponsored advert, then you have the non-skippable, what they call non-skippable advert. There's some adverts you cannot really skip. They just come. You keep searching for the skip button, you will not see it there. They just play. You understand? Then you have promotional. Just give me a second. You have the non-skippable advert. Then you have just 1 second. You have the overlay button, overlay videos. Those are just play as well. Then you have the non-skippable. Then you have the sponsored video. Those are just the 4 main adverts that you could actually put on your video. So then you have access to all this. You indicate which one you can actually add to your video. Not so the number of minutes people spend. If people stay and watch that video to the end, you're actually making money for somebody. That video you're watching, that Yoruba movie or those African movie or those American movie or those pastors preaching, even religious bodies, they make money from YouTube. I don't know how many people know about that. they actually make money from YouTube. Each time they put their message on YouTube and you go in there, or this musician, they put their video, they put their video on there, they're able to monetize it. You understand? They're able to get something from those from every one of those adverts. Then there's something they call a partners program as well. A partners program basically is you sign up to a partners program. People that believe in you people that believe in you are able to make a certain pledge, to make a certain amount towards your video every day, just to encourage you and all that. Then also another way which people make money on YouTube is what they call. There's some people they brand it basically. For example, I said something earlier when I said people that do travel vlog. Actually, companies will actually pay for those trips for you. You actually, because they already know you have the audience. Whether on Instagram or on YouTube, basically, they already know you have the audience. So what they come, they tell you, oh, you just send them an email or something, and they call, or even sometimes they are the one that approach you. They look at the number of viewings you have, and because everything is done online these days, so they look at the number of viewings you have, and they want to put their advert in there. Sometimes you see some people wearing some hats, you see some people wearing some certain sunglasses, branded sunglasses. They're actually promoting those companies, and the company is actually paying them extra. So this is how people actually make some money, basically. Which you won't, it has nothing to do with the number of viewing. They're making money from the viewing. They're also making money from the partnership program. They're also making money from sponsors. Then also some people do branding. There was a friend of ours recently. This person, I think it was last year, traveled to India. Or yes, I think it was to India. And when he came back, he had products that had been branded. He didn't make those products. Like, for example, this is a water bottle. You could actually have this water bottle branded in your name in those type of countries. So they go to this person went to America, to India. I think he did it in India, and they do it also in China. So they could actually put your own brand in there, and then I think you pay a certain amount of money, and they ship the items to you for you to sell. Most of the items we find in Tesco, in Morrison, and all that, they don't actually belong to Tesco. They don't actually belong to Morrison. They're actually branded products. There are people that actually hold those items. For example, somebody told me the secret of Tesco some time ago. Now, if you go into Tesco, for example, now at your high level, you see a certain set of items on at Tesco, and you wonder why are those items there. Then you see another set of items below. Then you see another set of items. It's based on the amount of money you pay in Tesco. Those items do not belong to Tesco. So sometimes it could be I was told that Tesco really does rip people off. You understand? It rips sellers off, basically. So it depends on what level your goods are. They're advertising your goods in those stores. That determines how much. It depends on how much you are willing to pay. That determines where your goods are. If somewhere underneath, you have to bend down to pick them up because they believe at high level you're able to see properly. So that's how they are able to monetize their stock. It's the same way people are monetizing the social media, basically. So the more exposure you're able to give to a particular product, the more that these companies are willing to pay for those goods itself. So it could be a music video, it could be anything at all. It could be you making hampers, it could be you making anything at all. You're able to monetize it based on the number of viewing that comes there. Then also, let me look at whether there's anything I'm missing here. Another thing is make it a consistent. Apologies for that. So make it a consistent, make a video a consistent thing. Maybe you make one video per week or something like that. You can make one video per. Some people make more than one or two videos, so they know you're a serious YouTube seller, YouTuber. Make sure that then also, if you look at on that YouTube studio, there's something they call a YouTube blocker, advert blocker. Some people don't tick it off. If you don't tick it off, that YouTube blocker, it actually blocks advert from being added to your video. So when you're in the studio, because the studio is more like, for example, you guys cannot see what sometimes, except I want to share my screen with you. So except I'm sharing my screen with you, if I'm not sharing my screen with you, you will not be able to. Let me see whether I can share my screen with you now. Uh, okay. This is basically like what I'm looking at. So you're able to look at see things that they don't see itself. They don't see the real main picture outside. So you're in your we call it sometimes engine room. When you're in engine room, there are a lot of things you can actually do. You unblock that advert blocker so that it doesn't block your video basically. So let me see. Then anything I've not covered. Then also you can sell your own line of product. Like I was saying, somebody going to like a place like China, India, or something to go do their own line of products. He said the earning potential on YouTube is massive. Like I said, I'm just starting up on YouTube channel. That's why you see me still looking at the manual. So I'm going to share it for you. It's just based on what I've learned recently. And what I now did is I stopped wasting time and I decided to act. All this information we've shared, if you do nothing with it, you automatically you don't really get nothing out of it. So the best way of starting anything at all in life is to start immediately. Stop procrastinating. Stop wasting time. You see people come to you sometimes. For example, people come and they say, "Look, Ross, say, look, can you help me there financially? I'm broke and all that." And you do actually help them, right? Then you send them things like this that will educate them, that will enlighten them to be able to do just a little of what you are doing, or even better than what you are doing. And you see them, they don't respond right. They don't come on, and you just wonder at times at people's nature. They sit down, they're at home, they can actually watch TV for hours, they can go on Facebook, waste time. That's why the topic, when you look at the topic of this today, it has to do with waste, from waste to wealth. You talk about the time we're wasting. People waste time on Facebook. People waste time on watching things that do not really benefit them. And at the end of the day, of course, what you sow is what you reap. Basically, that's what I believe in life. What you put into life is what you're gonna reap, get out of it. We so religious. Yes, it's good. Like I said at the beginning, my faith goes along with my work. You understand? Because without my faith, I am nothing. You understand? But my faith, you understand, goes along with what I do, what I believe in. I can pray about something, but what have I done about it? God gives me idea, but what have I done about that thing I have prayed about? What step have I taken? People they pray a lot. They can spend 7 hours a day. But you know what I call? I call it because when they say people have pashoko, pashoko has to do with you having little deficiency or something. You understand? You can pray from 24 hours, but what have you actually done within that 24 hours? You spend 24 hours praying, right? Nothing wrong with it. But what have you actually achieved? You understand? Because what God does is He opens doors. He opens doors for you to go in. It will not. If you don't go in and you keep praying from morning till night, well, at the end of the day, what you see is what you get. The way you lay your bed is the same way you sleep on it. The pension, people talk though they rely on pension, but at the end of the day, if you know what the pension, they're killing a lot of companies. A lot of companies are killing pension even before now. Just imagine what's going to happen after this COVID-19. People don't even know whether they're going to have a job to go back to. So why don't we, you understand, just get something started? Just start, and you'll be surprised by what you will get from it. I'm going to give us another 1-2 minutes. I've talked. Apologies if I bored you too much. Thank you for those that have spent time to just listen to my rambling. You understand? And if you've gotten anything out of it, don't feel free to send me a message. You understand? And I hope you've been blessed. I just hope you've been blessed. And I hope you not only been blessed, but the way to demonstrate you've been blessed is by doing something about it. You don't get nothing by doing anything. You actually lose it, basically. So I hope I have been able to share some ideas with you. And I say to you, if you want more information in more details, let me just share briefly. I'll just share that presentation about this slide about the YouTube to you, the one I was just looking at just now. Just 1 second. You can also download that. It gives you more information basically about all I've been talking about on YouTube, YouTube Partners. We call it YouTube Partners Program. So you can download that as well. It helps you, it gives you a brief. It tells you more about YouTube. some of the things we just take for granted. The other day, my kids were so bored, they went into the garden and they took a video. And I thought, oh, I was at work. I'm a key worker. I still go to work basically. So I was at work and then they were making video and they said, oh, that looks good, but I can't put it on YouTube. I said, no, because it has no originality to it. They were still playing those songs. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I could put it and their friends could see it and all that stuff. So that's, I've sent that video, that YouTube partnership program. Is a wonderful program, manual, which involves everything I've talked about. And I hope you've been blessed. I just hope you've been blessed by this. Uh, there's no question here. There's no question. I'll give it one more minute. If you do have any question at all, I'll give it one more minute. So YouTube page, the CPM, talk about the CPM there. Then they talked about what determines how much you make. Mr. B makes this, and somebody makes a million view and is making £132, where somebody else is making about £6,000 on that 1 million. We talked about different avenue of making money from YouTube by YouTubers. Like it says there, thank you for listening. Have a great day and have a wonderful weekend. And if you need this video, you see, you're gonna probably get it automatically in your email. Thank you very much and have a great day. Take care. Bye.